It's good. What's up?
What's going on, everybody?
We gotta change that. Yeah, there you go.
Hope you all are having a great evening. Happy Sunday. Sorry about the mix-up. We had a little image that we popped up there. I don't know what's set up with YouTube system, but we went back for daylight savings time, so yeah. Anyways, sorry about the mess up. We went ahead and got ready as soon as we possibly could, so we can go ahead and get this started and let you all get on with your evening. We appreciate you guys joining us this evening. Just so y'all know, we are not doing any entries except for the normal entries for any super chats or anything tonight. All the 5 times entries and such are over with. But we do, for the next 48 hours, any apparel that is purchased off of the website is 10 times entries. So for every $1 you spend, you get 10 entries into the KFX1 giveaway that is November 15th. And that is only apparel, only for the next 48 hours. So if you want to check that out, there is a link down in the description. And you help support the channel, and we appreciate that. Anyway, you doing well?
Yeah, I'm
You
doing
happy
good.
to have a teenager in the house? So, hope y'all are doing well. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and get into this right away. Oh, and I want to say hi. Hi, Laurent and Accurate Man, Jose, Paulo, Richard, Skylar, Tim. Haven't seen you here in a minute. A lot of names. And, yeah, next links. There's quite a few names I hadn't seen in here for a minute. Like Tim and Accurate Man.
I thought Tim was here last time.
He may have been. Oh, hey, what's up? Dave too. I'm just seeing names here.
Paul, maybe your internet is lagging a little bit.
Is the audio's horrible?
Legendary said the audio seems okay for me.
We can turn that down just a bit. Oh, I wonder if it's by the computer there. Here we go. We usually have it a little bit farther forward here, so maybe that'll help some. So it's not right by the fan. Ziak Zeus, hey, what's going on? Is audio good for everybody?
Timothy, I was late for the party last time.
Ah, gotcha.
Cool.
Well, we appreciate your support. This is probably the last time that we will be live until the KFX1 giveaway. We might pop in and do one. We'll let you know, but we've got quite a few things going on, and I'm figuring out and going through and getting everybody their entries and adding everything up, which is a lot of work. Plus, we've got videos we're shooting, and, we're working to continue to put out at least a video or 2, if not 3, per week. That's what we're going to focus on. And the next time, like I said, we'll probably go live is when we do the giveaway. So just make sure that you have notifications turned on and you pay attention to the community tab, because we'll be posting in the community tab here on the YouTube channel to keep you informed on what's going on. Also, you can follow us on Instagram and stuff. All that links are down below. It's all good? Ah, gotcha, Accurate Man. Laurent, I hope your pieces that we're baking or your cookies that we're baking are doing good. Yo, Armchair Mechanic Network. So, anyway, tools for starting, or essential items that you're going to need, mainly like tools that you're going to need for starting a powder coating business. And I know that probably a lot of you in here already know that, or may not know that. But this is something that we've been asked a lot, and people ask a lot in the This Business of Powder Coating Facebook group that we've got. And it's, people who are just getting interested in stuff, as well as seasoned people here that do powder coating. So we just kind of wanted to go over what you can do and kind of the basics that you're going to need. Now, obviously, you're going to need some sort of shop space.
Oh, yeah.
A
garage.
A garage, exactly. I would say at least a good 400 square feet, depending on what size of oven you're starting with. And this is just for like a side hustle. Remember that? Like, if you're just starting out, maybe you're looking into getting this going, or, you know, maybe you work a full-time job. There's a ton of people in our Facebook group that actually work a full-time job. I asked a question the other day. I don't remember. I should have pulled it up. But I asked a question the other day, and there's quite a few people. I didn't realize that, probably 15 or 20 comments that are about people that usually work a 9 to 5, and then they do powder coating afterwards. So I didn't realize how many people actually just do it as a side gig. Like, really
it's
surprised.
a side hustle.
It
You
really
can do
is.
little pieces. You don't have to be all extreme doing subframes, frames, stuff like that. If you can fit it in a small oven.
Keep it with custom work.
Yep.
And really, there's people out there getting started with just convection ovens. Something as small as a convection oven. So you're going to need a shop space, that's for sure. And you're going to need, you know, some sort of oven. And that can be a convection oven. That can be a home oven. Obviously, not one that you cook in. It can be a home type of oven. And I don't know if a gas one would work for that. Probably it should. But, yeah, you want to get some sort of oven. Like I said, a convection oven. And that, right, people are doing tumblers all day long with convection ovens.
Yeah.
You know?
But you can build a small oven for kind of cheap.
Yeah. We actually have our videos on how to build an oven, and it's not as bad as you would think. We spent like $1,300 to build our original oven. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, oil field.
Dude, Ackerman works at an iron ore mine.
Wow.
I bet you
that
that's
sounds like a
tough
lot
work.
of fun. Sounds like fun. And
Is it easier than coal? Is it as dirty
Is
and
it-
dusty? Obviously dusty, but coal, you know?
What about, I know that Laurent just asked how many people have built their own oven. I think that there's quite a few here. Didn't Ackerman say it was his birthday too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Ackerman.
Ratso's Realm, I've coated paintball guns in a toaster
DIY
oven.
gang, Jose says. There's probably at least 5-10 people in here that have actually built their own oven.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a decent amount. There's, you know, just a few people here in the actual live, and, you know, 5-10 people, so probably a good 30-40%. If we went through everybody and checked it out, I'm sure that there's quite a few people that have built it, probably closer to 50% of the people that are in here. So, but you can start with anything. And when starting out, and what's going to come to key is another tool, is a gun, a system. I know a lot of people in here have dual voltages or started with dual voltages. We started with dual voltages. I know there's people that are starting with the Harbor Freight, the Harbor Freight single voltage, basically, system. And that is going to take a lot of play into it. You're definitely going to have troubles, as we did, as a lot of people do, doing multiple coats and stuff like that. But when you're first starting out, you're going to want to really get used to practicing your prep, because prep is key. Prep is key. If you don't take the time to do the prep right, then that's not going to matter. So when you're starting out, even with a small oven, it allows you to do small pieces so you can learn prep and learn about getting stuff to part temp and learning about different things like that. And just practicing your skill. That's what it's going to allow you to do with the small oven. Richard says, not me. How much can you make powder coating? It just depends on what kind of business you're in. There's companies that are really focused on industrial work that actually make a lot of money, but they're talking like automated spray machines and stuff like that. So, it really kind of just depends on what you're doing. But there's a lot of custom coaters that make pretty good money as well.
Oh, yeah. Who asked how much we could make off, or how much can you make powder coating? It really all depends on how much you work hard, stuff like that, expanding the business.
Yeah.
Because there's a shop down in Quincy who has 50,000 square feet, and
Yeah.
it's packed. They're
And
making bank.
But they do a lot of industrial work too. They do some
but
custom.
That's still powder coating.
But that's the two sides of the powder coating industry. You can do custom work or you can do industrial work. Yes, you're very welcome, Accurate Man. So anyway, it's gonna allow you to practice. The thing is the more you powder coat, the more pieces you do, the more types of pieces you do, the better you're going to get at it, especially if you're learning from your mistakes, and you continue practicing. One of the things about using a Harbor Freight or dual voltage gun is you've got to work a bit harder to get the finish that you want. And I believe that in the long run, that really helps you out, because the better that you get with a harder gun, and then when you have a gun like a step up, whether it's the Cool Coat or whatever is better than that, the Cool Coat, the KFX1, even going as high as a Gema or a Parker Ionics, any of those, that's definitely a lot better than a dual voltage or a Harbor Freight. If you've spent the time to really try to get things correct with the dual voltage or the Harbor Freight gun or whatever it is that you're using, maybe the Redline Easy 50, I think, is another one that people start out a lot with. When you've taken the time to really get it down with those, it's going to make it easier when you do step up to a better system. Oh, yeah. You don't have to go out spending thousands of dollars, just as you're not going to go out and start doing, expensive wheels or anything like that. You definitely don't want to, you don't have to go out. I mean, if you want to, you can go out and spend the money. There are advantages and disadvantages, of course, with the gun that you get. It's going to be harder. You're only going to be limited on the types of jobs that you can do when you're getting a Harbor Freight or a dual voltage gun. As well, but in the offset, the more that you work with it, the better you're going to get at your craft. And at the end, it doesn't matter what you're using. If you're doing a professional job and it's coming out professional and the customer likes it and you like it, then that's really all that matters.
Oh, yeah.
That's all that matters. So a gun, an
also,
oven.
if you go from using a Harbor Freight to like a $2,000 gun, you're gonna have more confidence, so you're gonna also feel like it's easier.
Yes, exactly. Well, and when the system works better too, and it actually lays the powder in where it needs to be and such like that, then that really helps.
Fixing it blind. Has anyone used infrared lights to cure powder coat?
I've heard of some people that were going to try it, or I've never actually talked to anybody that's tried it, but I know that they sell the lights to do it. They're expensive though. When you really break it down, trying to do bigger pieces, you're going to spend as much on those lights, especially if you want good ones, as you are an oven. Oh, yeah. I've priced it out. I definitely priced it out.
But some projects like that is just fun to do.
And like NextLink says, yes, income is good if you dedicate yourself. It's just like anything. If you dedicate yourself to it, you learn from your mistakes, and you continue to push forward and work hard. All you have to do is give it time, and you have to love what you do, because you're not going to give it that time if you don't love what you do.
Richard said that he started with a DV and a toaster oven. You're doing a toaster oven 3.5 years ago.
Was it 3.5?
Yeah.
Yep.
Close to it.
Yep. So, yeah, it's been some time. It has definitely been some time. Yeah, it's all about practice. It really is. And learning, and definitely we do not know everything. We're just, like we've always said, we're just here to document our journey, teach you what we've learned, and help you out along the way if you can. So check a compressor. You're going to need a compressor that's going to be able to run your system that you have. Some would argue you need a compressor for blasting. You probably do, and it's best at some point in time. But there's a set off there. If you can find a company that you can work with that will blast stuff for you at a reasonable cost and be able to work a good schedule for you and kind of work around your schedule, which it's kind of hard to do, is get a business to work around your schedule and do it at a good cost. But if you can work out something with a sandblaster or with a media blasting company, then you don't necessarily need a compressor big enough to blast. And that would also bring up a blasting cabinet. If you're not going to be blasting right away, you're not going to need that. And you definitely want to blast unless you're doing brand new pieces, but some of those you still even want to blast, just depending on the situation.
But our setup works because we have rim strip.
Yes.
And our setup's probably $350 altogether, but that's also because we blast outside.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. If you're able to blast outside, you can get away with getting a bigger air compressor. And the air compressor is really kind of, you're going to want a good one to run your system. Now, if you're going to go for one for blasting, then it's important. I suggest don't do under at least 20 to 25 CFM because it's really going to be tough. And upwards towards 30 or as high as you can be able to go for what you're going to do. If you want a 185 and you have the ability to have a big blast room or an outside area to do it, then I would go that route. Let's see. Lauren says if you buy a big gun right at the bat. Exactly. It's all about practice. It really is. That's what everything comes to, is practice. Anyway, but try to get, if you're going to be getting an air compressor, at least get like a 20 to 30 CFM. If you can. Obviously, if you can't right away, the higher the CFM, the better. In most instances, what we keep running into is every building we get into doesn't have three-phase power. And the plug-in air, and the plug-in air compressors or the electric air compressors that can be used are the ones that we really want, that have the power that we want, are three-phase. You can't draw 20 horsepower worth of electricity without having three-phase.
No.
You can't. But the 20 horsepower ones are the ones that are really up there.
It costs a lot to upgrade to three-phase. Not too much, but it's a little extra.
Paul says he has the Eastwood toaster oven also, a home oven, and you're building a 6x6x6 oven. 3.5 years ago when I started doing pieces, I had a machine that I created, a press that I created, and I was powder coating parts for it. And they all could fit in that little oven, and that's exactly what I did. I just bought the DV kit. We actually still have that kit here. In our storage out here, and then we had the other DV kit that we bought and then gave that away with the hot coat PCS 1000, and that's what we've told many people with the hot coat PCS 1000. If you're going to spend $1,000, you can probably get a system that is a little bit better. I know that there's places that are getting a lot more competitive with systems like that, but one thing with the hot coat PCS 1000 is it was better than the dual voltage, and it allowed us to get more work and step up our production, so we were able to buy an even better system. So you just work your way up, and that's what we're finding from a lot of people who are talking about their stories, that they've been doing it. Some people have been doing it out of their garage as a side hustle for 5 years while they're still working a 40 to 45 hour a week job.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is what, and I'm not saying it's the majority, but there's a lot of people that do this, that work a 40-hour a week job, and they powder coat on the side, especially doing custom stuff. So it's something that you work up, and you get as busy as you want to get. Some areas you may not be able to get as busy as you would like to. Like doing custom stuff, are we going to get super busy here? I'm sure we can get pretty busy.
Oh, yeah.
But if we really wanted to ransack and go for the industrial market, I'm sure we could, because there's only one place that the industrial market can go to, so they're at their whim. And if there's a competing building that has a large square footage and they can compete on price and work and all of that, then it becomes a possibility. But I don't know if I want to get into the industrial market. There's another side of the market that I see is going to be growing, but that's a whole other video and talk, because it's just emerging.
Oh, yeah.
And
let's read some of the comments.
Big industrial.
Get to the people. Next links, I got the little Eastwood toaster oven also, home oven and building, a 6x6x6 oven. You can fit a lot in there. Fixing it blind, so what's better to start with, Harbor Freight or Eastwood dual voltage?
I don't believe the Harbor Freight has a setting that you can adjust the kV on it. So the dual voltage would probably be the better way to go, because at least you have some sort of way to adjust the dual voltage.
Skylar Hamilton, why did O'Malley's comment get deleted? If you go where it says Streamlabs, it says, please refrain from sending long messages.
That's what it says. No, I'm
Eastwood,
sitting here talking.
Eastwood said, not Eastwood. Richard said
the Eastwood dual voltage.
Yeah, Lawrence said Eastwood.
Yep. Okay, ZX Zeus, that's the one I was waiting for you to get to. A phase converter. So we were running a phase converter on the big Ingersoll Rand air compressor that we have or had back in Denver. The pump went out on it. So anyway, we were using one on that. I don't want to spend a huge amount of money on a new air compressor and then use a 3-phase converter.
Yeah.
I just don't want to do that.
Take the risk.
I would rather just be in a building with 3-phase or get a gas one. IVIX has a gas one that's a decent amount, and it's a 110 CFM gas powered one that you can actually like push around. It's got 4 big wheels on it, so you can push it around, load it up in your truck, and it's 110 CFM. So it actually is made to run 2 of their IBIX blasters. So that's, there's other options out there that we're looking for, because I just don't want to run a phase converter on a new compressor. And to be honest with you, I think that might void the warranty. I'd actually have to talk to the companies. Richard says, I sell the PCS 1000 cheap. Yeah, it definitely.
How much did that cost? Like a grand?
It was like $900 plus shipping. Yeah, so right around $1,000.
That's not that bad.
It's not. It really isn't, and it allowed us to step up.
The gauges never worked, though. We had 2 of them, and the gauges never worked.
Yeah,
that's kind of funny.
Oh, so check this out. There was, I figured out there was something that had came up yesterday with somebody in the powder coating group, and they were having an issue, like we were originally having the issue, and I talked to him, and he just took the ground off the back of the machine, and it solved the issue.
Yeah.
That was the issue the whole time.
That was the dude that you were talking to about his shoes, too.
Yeah, you're not supposed to actually, it says in their directions to hook the ground to the back of the system, but in all actuality, you're not. You should just take the ground from the earth ground. I'm not saying the clip. I'm saying they say run the earth ground to the back of the system. But if you take it off, it works fine.
Oh, that's what we're on right now, earth ground?
I don't know why anybody's messages get deleted. There's auto moderators in here. Yeah, there's Streamlabs that's auto moderating it. It should say certain things.
Someone's got deleted earlier because they said good.egg or something, and they said that it was a website.
Yeah, you can't post the links or anything like that.
I can't read your.
Oh, you're gonna need a protective mask.
Yeah, a mask.
You need to have a protective mask. Obviously, you don't want to do powder coating at all or any length of time without having a protective mask. You're going to want some sort of booth, even if it's a homemade booth. You want to have some sort of booth because you don't want powder to get all over, and you want things to be able to be cleaned up. So, you don't want to make a mess, and it's also going to help you when it comes to masks and stuff like that.
Black.
I'm sitting here. He's sitting there. Yeah, nobody's deleting messages.
Black Cloud Racing said the PCS 1000 is junk. We've made thousands using that gun. Have you ever used that gun?
It is. It's not that good. But, again, it comes down to practicing your skill. See, if you can go ahead and use that system and make it work, then you can do that. It's just all about having, practicing and practicing. And yeah, you may mess up and you may have to do stuff over and it can be a pain. But guess what? That's just what happens when powder coating. That's what happens when starting a business. That's what happens. Nobody ever just walks out the line and is perfect. Actually, I don't think anybody's perfect. So, yo, what's up, Dakota?
There's been times where we haven't used masks because it is uncomfortable and super hot, but that's the risk we take.
Yeah, exactly. But it's definitely not suggested to ever use a mask. So, anyway, so we've got the mask, oven, booth, gun, compressor. You're definitely going to need, if you're not going to be blasting, you're going to need some sort of probably sanding tool would work. I mean, you can do stuff by hand, but to have something like that and be able to have a stripper, which it could be considered a tool, but it kind of equipment. But there's ways that people clean them off and sand them off. It just takes a long, long time to be able to do that, and it's just time-consuming work.
I gotta clear this up real quick. Try not to put a period in between two words because it keeps blocking it, thinking it's a website. But I could still read it. Babanchi said, would a 125k BTU Mr. Heater heat a 6x6x6 homemade oven from sheet metal? Yes, maybe.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me read it again.
125,000.
Okay. Yeah, what a 125k BTU Mr. Heater heat a 6x6x6 homemade oven. Yes, you should have no problem with it. That's probably about the biggest size that people in this business of powder coating group, that's about the biggest size that people are heating with the 125k. So you should be fine with it. You might have to run the heater at max. Is that the high side? Is it like a 60 to a 125k?
Next links. This is one that got deleted. He mentioned something about a propane and a big propane tank that he uses for his air. Someone said something, I forget, I think they just left. And then he said, hey, it works. I improvise 200 PSI easy. That's kind of...
That's awesome. High. For a propane tank you converted?
A big one, yeah.
Wow. How big? Does it say how many gallons? Next link, how big? And we'll have to see Dakota Poles. What's with his message? Yeah, another one with Dakota.
Having a nice gun is great, but I put out some dang... He said a bad word. I put out some dang good pieces with cheap guns. Have a cheap gun force you to learn a lot more because you can't get away with the gun doing the work for you.
Exactly. No,
he
and I want
to
look.
Word.
And he said gun in there a couple of times. I'm wondering if I'll have to look at Streamlabs. It could have been something because of that as well. It could have been something because of that. So we'll have to look at Streamlabs and see what's up because I don't know. That was crazy. Anyways, we'll have to check that out. And Black Cloud. Yeah, exactly. People crack me up. Okay, anyway.
I'm blocking people.
Armchair says, I rigged up the kitchen stove with a propane bottle and an extension cord out in the yard. Wow.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see. We've went through... Oh, you're going to need an infrared thermometer. You want to have an infrared thermometer because you got to be able to accurately check the temperature of the part. You know? So definitely get yourself an infrared thermometer. The better one that you can get, obviously, the more accurate that it is going to be. And you also would really, in the end, would really want to get one that can change. You can change the substrates on. That way, you can go ahead and get a part temp and an accurate part temp based on different stuff based on the different material that you are going to be using. So let's go recap, okay? You've got a powder coating system. You've got
oven.
Oh yeah, you've got an oven, a gun, a booth, a compressor.
Your earth ground set up.
Yep. Earth ground, which is mandatory. I don't consider it a tool. It's there, but that's here. Even if you're running a dual voltage or a Harbor Freight gun, ground your piece out with an earth ground. Seriously. It will change the way it works. Seriously.
Media blasting. Figure that out.
Yeah, figure out your media blasting or get a compressor big enough and a blasting pot or cabinet. You're going to want a mask. You're going to want an infrared thermometer. You're going to want little things like heat tape, silicone plugs, and that's all other small equipment, hooks. And we'll go into another detailed either a video or a live we'll go into detailed about it. But we wanted to talk and cover kind of the main equipment that you're going to need or would need to get things started. You're going to need to have a way to strip it, whether it's through sanding, whether it's through stripper, or whether blasting any and or all of it. Jose says best brands for infrared. I haven't went in deep into brands for infrared, so I don't know for sure. We're still using a Ryobi one. It's been pretty accurate for us, and we haven't had no issues, but I know that there are other brands out there that are more expensive and that do cost a bit more. So you definitely, it'll be some research. Maybe we'll go into the rabbit hole on that, and we'll go ahead and don't even trip, bud. We'll go in the rabbit hole on that. Huh.
If it says Streamlabs is doing it, Streamlabs is doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
If I'm doing it, then Streamlabs isn't going to say nothing. And I already said I deleted some because drama free. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. This is...
Yeah, he wrote too much.
Exactly.
And
Streamlabs will block it if you write too much. And any of that. So, there you go.
Yeah, we might have to take that off too, to where it doesn't delete long messages.
Okay, I'll have to do that. I'll check it out. That's what I said. We got to check the messages with Streamlabs, obviously, and people, you've never been able to share links in there or
Legendary,
stuff like that.
Do you pay for Streamlabs? Because we do, and that's one of the perks of paying for it.
So anyway, exactly. Yeah, we're about got this wrapped up there.
But
so
I don't know.
Thank you all for coming on in and checking it out.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments section down below. And we'll probably go over and make another video. We'll go into, or not probably, we will. We'll go into the rabbit hole of kind of infrared guns. Maybe we'll talk to some companies and see if there are some ones we can test out.
Yeah.
And kind of see what's recommended as well. You're going to want some sort of gloves or something like that to be able to handle the hot pieces.
Not fully necessary. You could just open your oven and let it cool down, but
yeah, exactly.
if you want to do stuff a little quicker, you want some gloves.
But you don't have to. So anyway,
good seeing you. Fix it,
short
blind.
Questions only.
No, it was just talking about whenever we were talking about getting rid of the long messages. Good seeing you fixing it.
Dang,
blind.
Jose said left them on the work site for 24 hours.
Favorite powders?
Character range?
My favorite powder is Osceola Copper.
Yeah, I'll check the character range on it and see what...
Sorry for talking over each other.
Yeah, and see what it's at. Like I said, there's maybe some settings that got to be changed, so...
Mason, my favorite...
Again, it's all learning. We are not perfect. Sorry. I think you guys understand that.
Are you done?
Oh, sorry.
Mason B, he asked... Favorite powders. My favorite powder is Osceola Copper from Prismatic Powders.
That's
your
favorite.
I just like it. Yeah.
I
did that stuff on my car. I loved it.
I tend to like Illusion Shocker and Shocker Yellow from Prismatic, but I do like powders from. We're gonna try IFS. We like Tiger Dry Lac. We haven't had any really good experience with powder by the pound. And we've got a couple other companies that we're ordering powders from as well, so we can try it out because, we're going to do more powder comparison videos as well. And we do have another video that's coming out and going live tomorrow as well, just so you know.
People just go out of the way. It's funny.
Can I just say something as mom in here?
No, you cannot.
No.
We need to filter what you say before you say anything.
All right.
Which are crazy.
Alrighty, guys. Well,
peace out.
We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. You all have a wonderful evening, and we will talk to you